Roger. Go for deploy.
There's no better thing in the world than making positive impacts on people's lives. You know,
Mate.
Even if it's like AdventureFit's only still a young company, but you know we've been able to make a really positive impact on maybe 100 people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fucking great.
That's amazing.
Alrighty, gang, welcome back to AdventureFit Radio. Today, me and Tommy had a catch up. It's been a little while since I've seen you.
It's been quite a while.
Probably we were both in Iceland running AdventureFit trips, but we were running
or Iceland?
Iceland for me.
Iceland for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very,
Iceland.
very proper of you.
Yeah, well, it's put off a father. Do you remember one word from Icelandic? Do you remember one? What is it?
Hohlwam.
Oh, yes. It's
guacamole in Icelandic.
The regional dialect for avocados.
Yeah. So me and Tommy just had a bit of a catch up and talked a bunch of pretty cool stuff. So you'll hear it all in about
pretty ambiguous, mate.
2 minutes time.
Yeah.
But
well, what's some of the shit that we got into?
Well, if we just let them go in 2 minutes, they'll find out for themselves.
Bill's in love, number one.
We didn't talk about that though.
Hey, Hummel, stroking the Hummel.
I'm not in love.
Oh,
but,
turn it up, pal.
I'm in.
Serious infatuation with your Hummel.
We didn't even talk about it on the show, mate.
Hashtag yes.
So, fucking hell. I have to delete all this.
Yeah.
No,
hashtag
but
yes, hashtag
only
yes.
joking.
Hashtag Hummel City. Hashtag stroking the Hummel.
So, anyway, this show's brought to you by, moving on along, show's brought to you by
Jess.
Audible, guys. Head to audibletrial.com/ADVF radio for a free audiobook and 30-day trial with Audible. If you're not using Audible, you are kidding yourself. Mm-hmm. What else are we brought to you by?
We're also, fair enough, we're also brought to you by Quash Creative, which is a freelance design firm run by our friend of the shows, Sean Marsh. Guys, straight off the bat, if you want to get a free SEO report, so basically, if you just want to get some good feedback on your existing brand, your product, your website, he's a really good innovator with website design and building that back-end sort of stuff. So if you want to jump on board there, head to quashcreative.com, .au, that's QUARSH creative.com.au, and mention the code word...
Mention radio.
Yeah, mention radio.
When you speak
That's
to the team there.
Mention radio, correct. And you can get some free shit.
And last but not least, guys, we're brought to you by AdventureFit Travel.
Stroking the Hummel.
So...
Bill's hating it.
So use the code radio for 10% off on any and all of our trips, guys. I'm not going to pump Adventure Travel up too much in this intro because
we did in the show.
You'll notice in the show that it was basically an ad for Adventure Radio. We've just come back from Iceland where 14 people went on my trip and I think 8 went on Tommy's, and 8 people out of our 14 booked their next holiday with us before the trip had even finished. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing. So, guys, you want to get involved, head to www.adventuretravel.com, see what we're all about, and you can come and experience the best of the best life has to offer with me, Tommy, Mac, and the team.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the show.
Yeah, we're good positions, and it's just going to be a hectic process. I think, as well, coming into, who we are as people.
What do you mean?
Well, I think that Iceland trip was a big one for me, just to be 100%, I'm on.
Yeah.
This is Tom Ahern.
Yeah.
You know? I say stupid shit sometimes, but I love, getting around people.
Yeah. The Iceland trip for me was fucking crazy. I had, when I was doing the prep, so, you know, the ring road with the waterfalls and the plane crash and stuff.
Golden Circle.
No.
Oh, no, the ring road. Yes. Yeah.
So down towards the glacier and stuff.
And Skogafoss.
Yeah, Skogafoss.
Yeah. And Scarfell.
Yeah. So that whole, I did that road trip. I hired a car. So I was I got there earlier, did that side of the prep, and then Mac did the Reykjavik prep. Checked all the restaurants, checked for gluten-free, checked breakfast places, all that kind of stuff. In the city, I got a car, bolted down the coast to do that side of it. And the 2 days I spent on the road there, I was one day all the way up. I just smashed it in one day and then cruised back and checked a couple of other places that I wanted to maybe go to on the way back that weren't totally necessary, but whatever. And those 2 days, I was nearly emotional. I was so walking on air.
Yeah.
I was this is just the most
Isn't
unbelievably beautiful fucking spot.
It's fucked up how good it is, that place.
It is.
Oh,
it is. It's
I was
fucked
walking
up.
around like this all day.
Yeah. Full hamal.
Full hamal. Yeah. I was full hamal.
It was crazy, man. Even like even Rita. So Rita was the partner of Ange, who the guy that I was talking to that I was going to catch up with in the UK. She was it was his second trip. They just booked their third. He booked his third trip before that trip ended, actually.
Shit.
But so the end of the second day going down the ring road when we're at the Glacier Lagoon. So Rita, that was like, because waterfall, amazing plane wreck, the Black Beach. Everything was just, it's the most unfathomably pretty little road trip you can do. Every half an hour, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. So we got to because we did the Glacier walk.
Duck.
Yeah. We got to the Glacier. We did the Glacier walk earlier that day, and then the Glacier Cave, and then we went and did the Glacier Lagoon. She stood there on top of the hill. You know the hill at the Glacier Lagoon?
Oh, yeah.
Jocasala, and then you look down on it?
Jocasala.
Yeah. So she stood up there, and she was like, she started crying.
Really?
She was just overcome by like the beauty of just nature.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I took all the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is actually, I think for me, there were two moments for me. You guys were unlucky because you guys didn't get to see the Northern Lights the way we saw the Northern Lights.
Yeah, I hear that.
It was fucked. It was magical.
Really?
It was the most incredible experience of my whole life.
Really?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably sounding a bit like Bill there.
Yeah.
But like it
Best ever.
Yeah.
Best ever.
But like we were meditating. We were all just chilling out on this lake, by this lake, lying down on the ground, looking up at this 3D fat ass band of like green light in the sky with purple glitter literally dancing around it.
Yeah.
Like I'll never see anything like that again.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
That's one of the reasons why when I was doing the prep, so I didn't see the Northern Lights when I was doing the prep, and we saw the Northern Lights, but as Max said to you, like...
Yeah, he said it was underwhelming.
Yeah, I was heavily underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I didn't say that in front of the crew.
Yeah.
We had like an okay night, but we saw them. So we saw them, but the photos were coming out really good. But I was like, I don't care about the photos.
No,
I
you
want
want
to
to
see with my eyes.
Yes.
Fuck the photos.
Yeah.
Kieran did a great job. Captured really good photos. But we did see them, so it was like, even though the photo looked way better than the actual sky at the time, we did see them, and it reflected the best period that we saw. We just got a photo at a different time.
Yeah.
But the next night we watched them in the Blue Lagoon. It was really nice. Also, it was pretty cool. But I didn't want to be the Grinch. You know, I didn't want to say to all the clients like, oh man, this kind of sucks. That's the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
You know, but I went back in with the boys. Everyone was, over the moon, chatting, really excited. I walked back into our room with the boys, and I was like, lads, I'm underwhelmed heavily.
Yeah.
If that's the Northern Lights. But
I'm very underwhelmed.
Yeah, I wasn't properly underwhelmed. It was just, I was like, cool, I've seen them. I knew they would pump way, way stronger than that.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked you guys got to see them in that regard, because, I wish I had been able to.
Well, apparently it was quite... Look, I'll be honest with you. Like, it was quite a rare occurrence to see what we saw.
Yeah.
But apparently,
Mac reckons it was like twice or three times as good, he said. It was just unfathomably better than what we saw.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, I was laughing.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe I'd seen something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I would live in Iceland for the next year. I'd go back. I would go back to the same lake every single night for like 6 months. Did you just cop fucking old man on the head then? So everybody at home, Bill's just sconed his pet dog on the head because he's upset that he didn't get to see the Northern Aurora Borealis.
I threw the ball for him, and he just he ran away to preempt where it was going. I just threw the ball straight in his face.
Yeah, fuck you, dog.
Knocked him out. He's dead now.
He's dead now. Yeah. Dinner tonight.
Yeah, it was funny because when I was doing the prep, I just kept pulling over and taking photos of the sunset and sunrise, because the sun obviously sets and rises all day, every day.
Yeah.
There's no actual sun in the sky. It's just a rise or a set. You know what I mean? Because it goes like...
Yeah, it's always just either setting or rising. It's not hanging up there.
And then quarter way down. It never goes into the sky.
Yeah.
So,
it's a piece of shit.
But I was driving around, and like there was periods of time where I just had to pull over, and I'm like, why? This is the 10th time in the last hour I've pulled over.
Yeah.
Because the sky's gone all this different colour. It's like, it's blue over there, turns to orange through here, then it goes to reddy purple, and around the fucking mountain it's all green.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not a sunset.
Yeah.
what is going on here?
Yeah, I know.
Why does it look like this?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
It's colder, mate.
It was unreal.
Yeah, it's
was
great.
Not like unreal, like awesome, but it was unrealistic.
It was unreal. It was unfathomably unreal.
Yeah, it was unrealistic. It was it's like I'm in a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was great. Well,
it's Real Madrid.
A lot of movies were filmed there.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, at the Glacier Hike. James Bond was filmed there.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Walter Mitty.
Yep, Walter Mitty was filmed there.
It was a fucking sesh.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was a sesh.
So what was your favourite part then?
What was my favourite part? Well, we got asked that on the last night. We did the whole round table thing like you guys would have, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And my favourite part was, so how's this, right? So Kelly, you know Kelly.
Kelly Coaster.
Yeah. Kelly, so it was his
KK.
It was his third trip.
Without the third K?
You just said KK.
I know.
You didn't even say KK.
The KK. Not K.
Yeah, hold the third K.
Yeah.
Hold the third K, guys.
The KK.
But it was his third trip, and he booked his fourth before the trip finished. And I love Kelly so much. So he's a fucking just a man among men. And anyway, on the last night, he came up to us, and everyone had 8 of the 14 people that came on our trip booked their next holiday before the trip had even finished.
Yeah, it's insane.
Two chicks gave me deposits on trips we don't. Yeah. Two chicks gave me money for trips we're not even doing.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. I'm like, no, South Africa's not. Yeah, South Africa's not ready yet. No, and they're like, doesn't matter. Yeah, here's $750 when it's ready.
Fuck.
I'm like, yeah, right.
Thanks.
Sweet. Thanks.
I'm going out and harem some coke.
So it was, everyone just had such a fucking good time. And Callie came up to me before the last dinner and he's like, hey, Doc, do you mind if I just come in and I want to just run something by you? And I'm like, fuck, I wonder what he's up to. So he came into the room with the boys. He's got this big Santa sack of bags. Oh, you know what I'm on about.
I know what you're on about, yeah.
So big Santa sack of bags and pulled out. So for anyone listening, like, what happened was Callie's a long-time adventure fitter. 3 times. He's going for his 4th trip in like a couple of years with us. He was there from the very, very start, some of our loosest, earliest trips, and he's just an absolute champion. Guy from Ohio. So, yeah, the moment that he pulled out these Iceland beanies with, ADVF embroidered in them and handed them out to people, he did a massive speech in front of everyone. He's like, guys, I just want to let you know that what you've just started, what you've just joined is you're now part of the family. You're now part of the inner sanctum for AdventureFit. He goes, AdventureFit's a major part of my life. I had a lot of stuff going on that I was a little bit lost in my life, and Doc and everybody that's around him at AdventureFit have helped me through that, and I feel like it's a huge positive impact on my life going forward, and I can never thank him enough. So I prepared these beanies and started handing them out to each other. I was nearly fucking crying, man.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the epitome of like when I think of all the shit that I've been through with AdventureFit, and I'm really like in a good spot now. Like I enjoyed the fuck out of that trip.
Yeah.
I had no issues whatsoever, no stress, just loved it every second of it.
Like completely juxtaposes some of the trips you and I have been on. Like the earlier trips when it was just like when it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard, and I'm just in a different place, So hopefully that was the reason why, like when I go through all the shit periods, hopefully I don't go through shit periods anymore, but like when I went through the hardest periods, that was the stuff that kept me going, and to see Callie, someone that I love so much, to see him take that upon himself and do something so fucking nice for people. He doesn't even know. His whole rhetoric was, he goes, I've been on AdventureFit trips. I knew that by the end of this week, we'd all be best friends.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of you guys, but I knew 100% you're not going to be bad people, so the experience we put on, we're going to be best of best friends. And everybody was.
Yeah.
And for him to get up and do something like that nice, for just out of the kindness of his heart, I was like, fuck, man, I was proud of myself, really.
Yeah.
I was proud of my team, you, Mac, everyone, Dave, everyone that's worked with AdventureFit. And that was the first period that I've really gone, fuck. Every trip we've ever done, we've absolutely nailed. And this sounds like a big AdventureFit ad, but every...
And it is.
Yeah. www.adventurefittravel.com.
Yeah.
Code word radio, 10% off.
Yeah.
But it was the first time where I was really like, fuck, AdventureFit's just nailed it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the product is nothing better. There is no better fucking product in the world.
Yeah.
I generally, and that's why I think we can get it to the fucking coolest company on the planet. It won't be the biggest company. It's not a tech company. It's not a fucking oil company. It's not well, maybe not oil company. Not a good example now.
It's an oil company. But AdventureFit's going oil. So we're going to be selling commodities as of 2019. And look, I mean, if you have any chance.
AdventureFit Radio, AdventureFit Travel, AdventureFit Events, AdventureFit Oil.
AdventureFit Steam Train. Don't know what that was.
But it was one of, I mean, so that's like not really like Iceland and the trip itself. That was just on a personal note. I was nearly crying, man. Like, when you're like giggling so much and you're like, you're welling up, I was like a little kid. And that just made me so happy, man. It just really did.
Yeah. Well, it's great. I mean, it's great. It's great being a part of it for myself as well, because you just become You become best mates with everyone after the trip. And the niche that we have at this company is that we're kind of this beautiful mix in between tourism and Kentucky and facilitation and just mates. So we know the itinerary of the trip. We know what we're going to do from point A to point B. And then once we're around that, we fuck around just as much as the guys on the trip do.
It's like we're all just a bunch of backpackers.
We literally are.
Together.
That's what it's like. Yeah. That's what the trip is like. And that's what we pride ourselves on being. Even like with the itinerary, when it'll say things like, we have CrossFit WOD at 8:30 a.m. So meet down the lobby by 7, or by 7. By 7 we can have breakfast real quick and then we'll head out to the gym. But if you got real fucked up last night, do what you want. Have a sleep in, watch some porn. Like we just don't. It's just so great.
Yeah, people have been asking me about it over and over and over, and like I really. It's funny because, and you're the same person as I am, really, and so is Mac and whatever. But it really is. It's funny how companies become a pure 100% indication of like their owner, their creator, or whatever, or the people that are involved in them. Because people ask me, like, what is AdventureFit anyway? I'm like, well, it's an adventure travel company. It's an adventure travel company. That's what we are. The crux of what we do. We're not a fitness retreat at all. I don't get asked for a fitness retreat anymore. I think our branding and our messaging and our marketing is pretty good now that people don't think that. They used to in the day, and I used to say we're not.
Yeah.
We're not a fitness retreat at all. We're an adventure travel holiday.
Yeah.
And so people are like, oh, yeah, well, how do you differ to anyone else? I'm like, well, we're an adventure travel holiday. We like to get involved in fitness. We like to get involved in mindfulness and yoga. And we drink beers and eat burgers and have as much fun as humanly possible. Yeah. Because realistically, if you look at it, that's my life. That's probably your life. Like,
it is.
That's how I think life should be.
Same.
The way nowadays, the way that AdventureFit's 7 or 8, 9, however many holidays there are, it's literally it's morphed into what I think is the perfect combination for how you should live your life. So
Agreed.
We don't train that hard, but we train.
Yeah.
Like we get a good amount of workouts in.
It's very holistic.
Yeah, we get a good amount of workouts in, but don't go overboard because that's not what it's really about.
Nah.
We get in, we look after our, we do some yoga, look after our mind and our fucking body in that way, but only, not taking over the trip and going too crazy on it, but 2 or 3 yoga sessions or whatever. And then, but we drink beers and eat good food and fucking enjoy ourselves.
Make stupid politically incorrect ads.
Yeah, enjoy the shit out of our days,
Mate, the fact what you said,
that's how life should be.
Absolutely.
It's the perfect balance.
That's how us three think life should be for sure. Yeah. And for you to facilitate this has been great. But I mean, like Mac and I were talking on our trip. Everything I own literally fits into a suitcase. Yeah. I have nothing else. Yeah. I want my life to be always moving. Not bogged down anywhere. I want to have something running online where I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to go to Mexico and I can still earn an income. I can still work for AdventureFit, all these things. Mac's the same. You're the same. We really start to, we represent the things we're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
And our things that Mac and I have on the side tie into different aspects of AdventureFit perfectly as well.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Super complimentary.
Yeah, it's
100%.
great. So, mate, it's just...
It is really exciting, man. It is really exciting for me.
Great.
Like, it's gotten to the point where, I mean, still got a lot of shit to work out or whatever, but like, it's gotten to the point.
But it'll get worked out.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd always thought that AdventureFit could be as big as basically, I needed to skill myself up and put the right people around me. And if I was able to do that, then it could be as big as I decide I want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then obviously last year went through all that shit where like every week or nearly, I did a post today on Instagram. It was one of the I was like, I should do some sort of motivational post.
Yeah.
That's not what just I feel like I should do. I want to do this. It's like, brand building.
If you want a 48-inch Hamal sword, come and speak to the original porridge gun.
But I made mention of like sleeping on my own couch. That was last year. Like so many times I rented out my room on Airbnb, homeless in my own house.
Yeah,
because I fucking had to.
Sleeping on my own dad.
Yeah. And now that we're finally, starting to get a little bit of comfort, now everything can go back into AdventureFit and just we can blow it up. It's just I really feel like AdventureFit can make the largest positive impact on people's fucking happiness and lives as humanly possible. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Yeah, it's fucking great. The shit that people were saying to me at the end of this trip, like the handwritten letters and like, that's the shit that dreams are made of nearly. Making people feel that happy
makes
you nearly
You're the best.
Yeah, you nearly bust in your pants.
Unbeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
What'd you
best.
say then?
You nearly bust.
In your pants.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Hamal explosion.
Oh, it was great. Oh. I had a fun time. Oh.
Yeah, so...
I want to do it again. Oh.
That was good, man.
Yeah.
It was good.
So then what's next for AdventureFit?
Well, we got a ton of stuff going on next year, which is cool. We got a bunch of new trips coming up. Vietnam's going to be sick. But I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, it's all pretty boring to like the listeners out there, but we want to try and get some corporate stuff going for sure. That's where we can make
Private trips?
Yeah, private corporate travel, which is where we can really, I think, make really consistent revenue where we don't have to kind of stress and worry about selling trips to the general public. Well, general public will always be there and we'll always try and sell as many tickets, give as many people the AdventureFit experience as possible.
Yeah.
But we want like partnerships, so you can really feel comforted in the fact that you've got, 10 corporate entities that are going to do one trip a year and you're going to have X amount of revenue, unless you lose that partnership, But if you look after, if we run an adventure trip like we've run every other adventure trip, then we're not going to lose these partnerships.
No,
you know
no
what I mean?
way.
So,
no way.
And then I'm actually in the process of, so I spoke to this chick in the travel in another travel company today or yesterday. She was I saw her on Shark Tank, and she was like pretty much same period of her entrepreneurial journey as we are. They sold, roughly around the same tickets, whatever. And I was like, oh, this chick seems cool. I'm going to reach out to her and just...
She's doing adventure travel stuff.
Yeah, but hers is like very, very... Her point of difference is like, so she does trips, so do we, but we do trips that people can't do elsewhere. So people can't do our trips because it doesn't exist the combination of what we do. The destinations are very popular destinations that everybody goes to, but the experience inside of those destinations is different. Hers is more, the destinations are different. Like, I can't think of an example because I didn't really look too far into her website. I know exactly what she does, but it might be like going into Namibia and doing like a hike with the fucking Kalahari Bushmen. Like that kind of shit.
Okay.
Shit that's like, you can't go to Intrepid Travel as much as Intrepid are awesome. You can't go to fucking STA or Gecko. You can't go and do that shit just off the bat.
Yeah.
So that's what she does. So, but she sells 85% of her tickets. 85% of her clients come from travel agencies. And I always thought early days we were definitely too niche to go into travel agencies, but now we're not. It's not really about the fitness. It's not really it's a, like you say, it's a holistic adventure holiday. And I really think we can appeal to fucking anyone and everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing holding us back there. So my whole thing next year, I'm trying to palm off a lot of the stuff that I do. I got a lot of tasks inside of AdventureFit that with our staff that we have, I'm trying to palm that off. So I've set up a lot of stuff in the last 6 months, and now I know how it works. I've only been doing X, Y, and Z for like 2 months, but I know how it works, I know how it functions, and now I can pass it on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pass off as much stuff as I can, get all these new systems in place with the crew that we've got at AdventureFit, and then so I have a lot of free time next year to work on the corporate side of it, and then to work on getting travel agencies involved. Because once we have that money in AdventureFit, once we have consistent money, then we can just do the coolest shit, man.
Yeah.
Like those, like we're talking about, like documentary style stuff.
Happiness documentaries.
Yeah,
that's something
like,
you and I have talked about for years.
Yeah, have we? Years now.
10 days.
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, but so that's kind of what's on the horizon for AdventureFit. But yeah, it is good, man. It is good.
Fuck. Well, yeah.
So what was your highlight from Iceland then?
Well, I think the Northern Lights.
Yeah, that's not a bad highlight.
Yeah, that was fucking probably the best thing I'll ever see in terms of like environment.
Yeah,
nothing will be able to beat that. What I saw, it was fucked up.
I was crazy, isn't it?
Shocked. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was.
I almost was just breaking down by how beautiful it was.
It's really like that. I feel like when you see stuff that's that pretty, you get emotional.
Oh, you do.
Like it's fucking. It's like. It kind of makes you sad sometimes. That's like when I think about what we do to the planet and stuff, and then you go and see something like that, and you're like, fuck, I really hope we don't fuck all this shit up.
I gotta stop eating dog.
Huh?
I gotta stop eating dog.
Yeah, exactly. Ziggy, you shut up, mate.
Yeah.
You'll be getting eaten.
I'll eat you. I'll eat you out. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. That's shocking. Oh, no. No, but like, that was great. But I think for me, being around like-minded people that are into, self-growth and, they're into traveling and seeing the world and going where no man is going. Like, just doing the road less taken and the road less traveled. And, like, that really permeated a lot of things for me, especially with who I am and my direction and what I want to create as well, because I'm really passionate about what I'm doing as well with the MindMate, and I can really every day I get excited about picturing like this beautiful little community of people that just aren't afraid to like own their experiences within mental health and just be super happy that this is what they went through. And I mean, so much of the turmoil associated with that is in the embarrassment and in the isolation and in the feeling of not feeling like you can relate to anyone. And if we could just drown all that out, and there are some things that I want to take people through, which is we've spoken about as the 10 tools, and there are things to learn and things to know about why it's so important we all relate to each other and what anxiety really is and what people go through when they have these things. But like, I can really see this beautiful little community of where people can actually understand why my social anxiety, for example, is very, very similar to your irrational fears about the afterlife and what the similarity is there. And like, it's just so, I mean, the most therapeutic thing that I get from me is whenever I open up a mental health conversation, I win. Because I can relate to everyone, because everyone has felt that emotion go astray sometimes. I was meditating in Iceland on top of that hill where the Viking with the lipstick has it on. I was meditating and I was in fucking pure bliss because I was looking at everyone on the other side of the world and I was like, they're all my mates. They're all my friends. Like I can connect to all these people because I know about the emotions that people go through because I went through it, and I feel like everyone deserves to understand that, and I want to build that,
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I feel like, and even like stuff like, because you're obviously not doing a psychology degree, but like, but you're obviously doing but you don't need to go to a psychologist to strengthen your mind and learn stuff that you can, like obviously, and I didn't mean to say that like,
they definitely have their place.
Condescending,
of course.
But like, you'll have your counselling degree, your personal experience, your tools and whatever to help people, and like that shit alone can change people's lives. Like I genuinely like,
mate, travel can change people's lives.
The shit I've learned from you, just as a mate, when I was going through my shit early days, this is just sounding like a big AdventureFit and MindMate.
Let's take each other off.
There'll be a code for the MindMate at the end of the show. We'll just work it out. We'll just punch it in now. It'll be something like a 99% off or something like that.
69% off.
Pre-69s. But the stuff like I go through, so I still go through like periods where something's going wrong for me, like, internally I'm feeling a little bit down the dumps or whatever. And I know for a fact now looking back, I know like, right, okay, here it is. This is the feeling that I felt like last year when I let this part of my life get out of control, when I went through this fucking week of where I was feeling shit, where I bailed on my mates because I didn't want to leave the house. Like, all these little things that happen, like I can point to them now. I can see them as they come and I'm like, right, here we go. I know exactly what's going on here.
Yeah.
I know what I need to do. Cool, man. Nice to fucking, nice to challenge me again. But like I can navigate my way around it. And I feel like they're skills that, even though everyone goes through ups and downs, like I think once you learn a lot of these skills, they're skills you have forever.
Yep.
You don't forget shit like that.
No way.
You don't forget important shit.
No.
And
you take the training wheels off your bike.
Yeah, that's right. And important shit is your mental health. Like that's why, like, and this is kind of divulging a little bit, but my next thing is gut health, because I was talking to some of my mates who that they kind of party a bit or whatever. Cyril was one of them. Cyril's in this group, and talking about how I wish I didn't pull up so bad from hangovers. And I was talking about the fact that I don't care about how my body feels. I don't care if I can't train. I feel a bit shitty. I don't care if I feel hungover. I don't care if I throw up the next day after. That kind of sucks. I feel like an idiot, but I don't really care about that. I care about my mental state, and that's it. If I'm lose a bit of sharpness. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed, but if my mood lessens, then I'm like, this is fucked. This is not really worth it. I prioritize that over absolutely everything, and it's the most important thing. So I've gone off a little bit of a tangent, but my next thing is like gut health, because of obviously like the relationship between your happiness starts in your gut really, and I'm only really starting to get around that. So that's my next thing, but that's purely and wholly and solely because it's everything. What the fuck's the point of everything else? This is why, like, I feel like me and you, Mac, anyone that's out there that's listening to this show that's got something that they're passionate about, now that I've always been passionate about AdventureFit, now that I can actually relax and breathe to some degree, then it allows me to be even more passionate because I can see I'm not stressed all the time. I can see the absolute fucking beauty in what we're doing. It's like you're talking about what you want to do and rah, rah. And I feel like it's easy for us, I think, as entrepreneurs when we're in that mindset because nothing's going to stop us when we know what kind of positive impacts we can make.
Yep.
This is why it makes me, I get so confused with people that, and we've discussed this before on the show, I'm sure, but like I get confused with people that work tooth and bone to like make an extra 10 million in the share market. It's like, but it's not. I wouldn't have work ethic for that style of life, because it's not.
I've never been able to like. You can ask anyone that I've ever worked for. I've never been able to stick a job that I haven't enjoyed.
Yeah,
like,
money for money's sake.
It's just boring. I can't do it.
Nah. So I think
that's got me fired before, but it's all right.
Yeah. But I think going back to like just the positive impact stuff. It's like. There's no better thing in the world than making positive impacts on people's lives. It's, even if it's like AdventureFit's only still a young company, but we've been able to make a really positive impact on maybe 100 people's lives. Yeah, and that's fucking great.
That's amazing. One person.
Yeah,
insane.
That's right. But I'm not saying I'm the Dalai Lama and I've changed everyone's whole outlook on life and whatever. But like we've made some good stuff happen, and it's so exciting to be able to do that in the future, to have that as like your fucking life's goal.
Yeah.
It sounds so corny. This whole podcast sounds so corny, but I literally came back from Iceland. I came back from the UK after Iceland, and I was so fucking over the moon, man, just walking on air. And for a number of reasons, like AdventureFit-wise, I caught up with so many old mates in the UK, and it's just, it's so... Happiness is underrated, man.
Mate, it is. Do you know? And the sad thing is in this day and age is that happiness is often misguided for pleasure.
Yeah.
And it's the saddest thing because people. This is what I want to do again. Like, and I was just to get on a slight tangent for a second. Is I as you know, I daydream a lot and I get very ambitious about things and I get really excited. And then it's good for you when we are in this sort of little partnership with the podcast because it's like, dude, fucking. That's not going to happen, mate. Just chill out. And I'm like, yeah. Be like, come on, Mal. But like, I was literally thinking we can like through this holistic approach to life, through adventure and fitness, through mental health and through nutrition, like these things we have going on can literally transform people's lives. And like, I don't feel like that's arrogant or anything to say that because I genuinely believe it, with the impact that these things have had on my life, I'm no different to anyone else. No. I went through a shit time. Everyone goes through shit times, But like with the impact it had on my life, I could speak from the heart and say it fucking changed my life. And no one deserves to not feel that way, Especially when they're in different experiences. I had one experience. People are in tons of different experiences that I can only ever sympathise with,
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was funny when we were driving in Iceland every day I was sitting next to Callie. He was sitting next to, I'm in the driver's seat. It was Callie and then Kieran on the right hand driver's side doing photo video stuff. So we were just chatting away the whole time, and we're talking about On It products, supplements and nootropics and whatever.
Yeah.
And Callie talked about the fact that I was like, Callie said how he uses On It products. I'm like, oh, what do you use? He's like, oh, I use Alpha Brain a bit. I really think that's not too bad. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. He's like, and I use their gut health thing. I'm like, oh, gut health. We started talking about gut health a bit.
Yeah.
And then I said, so tell me about what's that?
Leaky butt?
Leaky butt syndrome.
Yeah.
And then, so he said, I'm like, so what does it do? And he's like, well, it actually costs more than most of their other stuff. It costs me a bit month to month, but when I don't have it, then I actually feel a much decreased mood. Like my mood goes down, and then I'll buy a big batch and I'll have it for 3 or 4 months and I'll feel on top of the world, and then I'll run out of it for 2 or 3 weeks and I'll feel a real significant dip in my mood. And I'm like, whether it's a placebo or not, Callie said how it cost him a bit of money. I said, whether it's a placebo or not, that's the shit that should be...
Absolutely.
That's the most important supplement you can ever have.
100%.
Because... like there's...
It's like a fucking heroin supplement.
Yeah, it's like... but
it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, but it's like...
Don't take heroin. But,
yeah, it's...
if it makes a difference for you, it's made a difference.
Yeah, it's just mood. Mood is that's your happiness that we're talking about.
That's right.
It's
and
yeah.
And that's the thing as well. Like with pleasure, pleasure is a tough one. Like I got asked today, would you ever think about fucking any other chicks?
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, no,
me?
no fucking, nah, that wasn't you. It was someone else. I was like, no fucking way. Are you kidding? And he's like, oh, why? And I was like, mate, it's not as though I can't, now that I go to misses and I'm frothing over, but like, it's not as though I go, oh, there's no hot chicks out there. There's plenty of hot chicks out there. There are fucking mint chicks out there.
And you would probably get pleasure from having sex with them.
Yeah,
but
that's
then
right.
you would lose the happiness of having an awesome
That's
girlfriend.
right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And like, this is a chick that I can genuinely see myself taking over the world with. Like, my best friend, makes me laugh beyond all measure.
Yeah.
The sex is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Hashtag Siobhan.
Hashtag Siobhan. Get around her. Get around her.
We'll put a link to her Instagram in the show notes.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's fucking great. And like, every aspect of your life should be derived from happiness, not from pleasure. So when you see things like, expensive cars, materials, all these things, like, it's just important to ask yourself, like, what is that? What am I going to gain from this? Like, am I going to gain a short rise in dopamine followed by a fucking depressive lull because I got no serotonin left? Or am I going to get something that's long lasting that can grow and really gives me happiness all the time?
Yeah, well, I think there's different types of pleasure as well though. Like what you just mentioned, I totally agree. Materialistic pleasure is just fucking useless.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like there's studies have shown like you buy a car, you're happy with that car for fucking 3 days, then it's just your car.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I read somewhere that like buying a car like that or buying whatever, it literally releases the same shit as you do from drugs.
Yeah. But
to some extent.
But then 2 or 3 days later, it's gone. There's none of that.
Gone,
it's back to normality.
Because it's boring.
Yeah. So, but I think, I totally agree. I think you have to try and be happy and content over pleasure. But I think I think you can have both. Like I think, because not all pleasure is bad, obviously. Like the materialistic pleasure, I think is absolutely useless.
Yeah.
But like pleasure that's involved with like people, going and fucking taking drugs with your best friends and feeling shit or whatever, but creating memories that you'll never forget.
Yeah.
Having like stupid, crazy sex that you shouldn't have had. Like with say you're single and with a girl you never met before, whatever. Like that's creating memories. You've got something with a person that you can all remember forever. Like you're not going to go, oh, I remember the time that me and that car that I bought had a fucking awesome sesh. Yeah, exactly.
Banged in the petrol gauge.
Up the tailpipe.
Yeah. But this is the thing, right? So like that's when self-awareness comes in, and that's like that ability to sort of understand when you're buying something to escape from something, or when you're buying something just because you just want to have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I'm going to go and have a couple of beers.
Yeah. I think it's all about if there's people involved,
Yeah, right.
Like I feel like if you're say you go and you do some stupid crazy purchase, whatever, but you do it together, it's a little bit different, because. Or you go and you blow money on, you go and party extravagantly or whatever. You get that pleasure fucking here. But if you do it with like your chick that you love or one of your best mates, then you have an experience with a person.
Yeah.
Like it's all about you're paying for a silly pleasure side and whatever, a waste of money basically.
A cock ring.
Yeah. But you're doing it with. You're creating a memory that'll last forever with a personal relationship.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whether you're just buying ridiculous shit for yourself or that just to make you happy, give you that little hit, then it's it's useless. But I totally agree. I think there's a good way to like mix pleasure and happiness and contentness. But obviously like.
And I guess the whole thing about self-growth as well is about understanding your weaknesses and trying to move those on. Like we've all. I mean, I did that. Like when I was. In a shit place, I used drugs when I shouldn't have used drugs, and like not to say I was an addict or anything, but like there were nights when I was like, I'd need to get on it, or I need to do these things because I was having a shit time. But then there were tons of things. Like I used to train a lot, all the time. I used to, tons of things. But like, it's about understanding that okay, look, that's probably not the most productive thing I could do, and then moving on from that. Like I think you don't want to. Start preaching the good word and then have people think that you're bashing them because we all make mistakes, But it's just like, if you can, my uncle, who is very Catholic, I asked him once, I said, he's like, I said, do you believe in hell? And he's like, no, I think hell is kind of like this vast emptiness, if it is a place at all, but it's like almost a vast emptiness for people that just don't accept God into their lives. And I was like, all right, it sounds a bit woo-woo, but like, what do you mean?
Heavy.
And he goes, yeah. But I was like, okay, what do you mean?
You believe in my God?
Yeah.
See you now, cunt.
See you, pal? Yeah. So but I was like to him, but what about like 1.5 billion Muslims that have like probably never even heard of Jesus? He's like, no, yeah, but it's like, Jesus is like the symbol for accepting yourself and accepting like there's probably something greater than you. And that's not in terms of like a spiritual thing, but it's like you're not the center of the world. It's about losing your ego, And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So how do you create this relationship with God, as you call it? And he's like, you just try to better yourself every day. And I was like, fuck, that's really interesting. That was a really good way of looking at it, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Always wanted to pick your brain about this atheist agnostic thing we were talking about the other day.
Oh, yeah.
So explain your stance on atheism to me.
My personal
Did we talk about
stance.
this on the podcast already?
No.
No. I think we talked about it on Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's over Pornhub.
Yeah.
Fuck, she said. Are you an atheist? So like, wait, as in my personal stance?
Yeah, because I
Where
think
do
you're
I stand?
agnostic. I feel like you're agnostic.
Yeah, so I'm more of a polytheist.
So
So I don't eat meat. So
Yeah.
basically,
I'm a rabbi.
Yeah, I'm a rabbi. Yeah, I'm a rabbi. Basically, I believe that every prophet or Messiah to ever walk the earth was basically teaching the same thing. It's basically saying, become one with yourself, learn what makes you happy, create a life that makes you happy all the time. You're always in heaven. That's the way I think of it. I went through a very, very swing of the pendulum atheism stint because I went through some shit about Catholic guilt.
What's Catholic guilt? What do you
Well, it's this kind of thing like if you do wrong or you sin, you go to hell. And,
right.
And
Yep.
and Catholicism historically has been not promoting or anything, but like speaks. I mean, the Christian form of hell is eternal.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hectic.
yeah.
Like you can never come out of it. That really fucked me up.
People make mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you make too many mistakes,
You're gone.
You're burning in hell forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
So think about that when you go to sleep, son. No worries,
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Like,
Wish you didn't
literally-
steal that loaf of bread now, do you little bastard?
Dick. Yeah.
Eternal hell for you.
Wish you didn't kiss your mum now, pal. Yeah, that's my thing. So like, and even that's just really interesting because in Islam, their form of hell is kind of like a prison sentence. So like you sit in this pot of boiling water every day and your skin shreds off. And then at night, I think it grows back or something. Please forgive me if I'm wrong.
I bet you are.
Yeah,
I bet you are.
I think it's kind of right, but
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
like, email me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But
Email me at Tom at the Prophet Muhammad.
yeah,
.com.au.
the Muhammad, the Hamal.
The Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, but it's like a prison sentence. So depending on what you did, you may serve 10 years in the pot or something. I think it's something like that. Anyway, I don't feel like it's eternal.
Yeah.
But the eternal thing really scared me because it's completely hopeless.
Yeah.
Like you can never get out. You are going to be tortured all until the rest of your days.
That's a fucking terrible thing to teach people, man.
Well, it's especially kids, like
Yeah.
very, very easily influenced,
Yeah.
like information sponges, like
Yeah.
kids. Like
It's a nightmare.
mate,
give you nightmares.
scared
that
me for
kind of shit.
years.
Yeah.
I like mum used to lie in my bed. No homo. She used to, no hetero.
homo, did you
Yeah,
say?
no homo. Yeah, she used to.
Definitely no homo. I'd hope.
Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah, my mum's gay.
I'm gay. Yeah. But like, she used to lie with me in bed and have to like talk me through it most nights, because I was just so scared about it. And the way my mind naturally works is I naturally have like an OCD mind, and it tries to trap me when it can, and thinking, if you don't do this, well, then this will happen. Oh, yeah, but if you do that, then this will happen. So I'm always just perpetuating this fear. And it was tough for me to work through. Like, it was tough, But, there's plenty of other stories out there, as I'm sure there are. But anyway, when I started getting through that, I read a lot of Dawkins, a lot of Harris, a lot of Hitchens. Like, Hitchens was a big one for me. Like, he's so conservative on atheism. Rest in peace. He's probably in hell.
Rest in hell.
Rest in hell. Sorry, pal.
Rest in hell.
I just went on to this huge movement because I was just sick of feeling that way,
Yeah,
And
for sure. But I
Yeah.
think my question to you is, though, because like I want to see if you agree with me on this or not.
Right.
But I think that I agree. We've had a discussion, I think, like we're talking online. I think I totally agree with you that every one of these so-called gods that have been that people follow religiously in our culture, or not just Western culture, like Jesus Christ, civilization,
race, yeah.
basically. I think that's all a crock of shit, a total crock of shit.
Yep.
But I think that for me, it's been like, so I think atheism is like the extreme right,
Yes.
and that would be okay. There's definitely no God.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as God.
Yeah.
So
when we die, we're dead.
yeah, so that's cool. That's the extreme right. The extreme left is devout, religious movement, and that's people that are attached to. There's 100%. There is Jesus Christ, 100%. The Prophet Muhammad came down and whatever. So
flew to heaven on a wing horse.
Yeah. So that's the other side. That's the other extreme. But I feel like, so I used to call myself an atheist because I didn't believe in God, or Jesus Christ, the gods that we talk about, and I still feel like that 100%. I'm not religious at all, but when we asked Geraint Lewis that question about what happened before the Big Bang, and he said, I don't know. When he answered that, that's how I felt. But when he answered that, I'm like, you know what? How the fuck can we say? Because atheism is there is no God. There is no God. Religious is there is a God. There is a God. And for me, I feel like you are too. I really do feel like in the middle, I think that you got to be absolutely. And I've taken a while to think about this, like just mulling it over in my own head.
Yeah.
But I think to say I'm an atheist or to say I'm religious, I think are equally but people are insane nearly. Because, I mean, I agree, atheism, if you want to say, I think all the gods that we made up in our civilization, then that's fine. Like, that's no worries. But I don't think that means you're an atheist. I think that means you don't believe in the gods that we talk about in society. Whereas atheism, that would mean that because we're never going to be able to, I don't think, no matter how incredibly smart humans get, no matter what artificial intelligence comes up with, I don't think we're ever going to know what the fuck's going on with the world, the universe, and the creation and life, the biggest question. I don't think we'll ever answer it. So the fact that atheism shuts the door on that, it says there is no God, and sure, it makes sense in our logical brain to go, God's pretty woo-woo, like what? But how the fuck did the Big Bang happen? What the fuck happened before that? What's at the end of the universe? What happens if there's multiverses? Like there's something going on that we don't understand.
Okay, so here's what I would say to that, right? So I agree with you, but I would come to the agreeing from a different way. So when you say things like, we don't know what happened before the Big Bang. I mean, that tells us something. No, it doesn't. So that's a leap of faith that people take when they go, because I don't know, therefore something must be the case. It's like saying, and I know you may not be saying this. I know what you're trying to say.
No, I'm more saying we don't know.
I know, but when you say things like, I saw a UFO, therefore it definitely was an alien spaceship. No, you just saw something which you didn't know what it was. And sometimes it's cool to just know what things are,
Yeah.
So what I would say to that is that there are a fuck ton of things that we don't know about, and therefore it's really important to find your own way in dealing with that,
Yeah,
because that can be scary. And for me, moving from atheism to polytheism, where I kind of now believe it's polytheism is probably not the best way to say it. I don't believe in
polytheism. You would believe in many gods, right?
That's correct, but in a sense I do, because I believe that I don't believe in a god as such. I actually believe in the universe as a separate, not conscious, but as a separate energy, right? And I believe that there are things in life like coincidences and things in life like positive experiences that you should listen to, both internally and externally, because they're saying something. I actually, to get into very woo-woo, believe in this kind of set path, or I believe that everyone on this planet has a talent they were made for. Okay, I believe that my talent is making people feel comfortable through humor, and I want to set up something in the mental health realm for that. But everyone has a talent, right? And we are all connected in some way or another, even through science, right? We believe that the Big Bang happened because of something smaller than an atom blasted out into this fucking massive explosion. But based off that, there's a finite amount of matter in the universe. Literally by definition, we're all connected, right? So when I talk about a journey that we all have, I feel like some sort of energy that was with us at some point, is trying to nudge us to do these things, and these are the challenges that we have in our lives, and the things that we do. Oh fuck, I can't really do that, but that's the things you really should do and listen to. And the more I've been listening to my heart and my soul and my gut, the more these things have happened. I'll give you an example. I was kind of doubting Iceland just before I went on the trip, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh fuck, look outside there." I was kind of doubting. I was like, "Fuck, I don't know. It's just going to be hard for finances, all this stuff." I didn't have a luggage case, so I had to buy that. Shivy told me to look outside, and there was a man wheeling up a set of luggage to an op shop. I mean, like little things like that people can go coincidences, but like I look into that, you know, because it keeps me on my path.
How does this make you polytheist?
So off that, I believe that every single god or every religion or prophet is basically describing the same thing. And I'll use Jesus as an example. When Jesus says something like, the kingdom of heaven is all around you if you just follow me. Jesus, I believe, is like this entity that's pertaining to just yourself and your soul.
Yeah, like what you were talking about with the way Eckhart Tolle explains.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe that every single person that ever spoke about this is doing the same thing. And the only reason that we don't know and we think they're all magical and woo-woo is because we weren't around to see them. Who's to say that in 1,000 years' time, if all technology goes, someone hears about a bloke named Tony Robbins and goes, he was a god.
Yeah, no, that'll happen for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I 100% believe that if we're around in... Well, depends now because we're in the information age, but if the information age dies and then it's just all goes back to word of mouth
and shit.
Then, you know, they're going to talk about the god Elon Musk who took us to Mars before the great asteroid explosion killed the internet or whatever, you know, like there's gonna be gods and heroes or whatever. It just becomes like folklore basically.
Yeah.
But no, I totally agree. I just wanted to pick your brain on the atheism thing because I remember you used to call yourself an atheist a lot, and I felt like
that was probably like there was a bit of an emotional connotation with that as well.
yeah.
No, but I mean, I can sit here now and say I'm in the happiest place I've ever been in my whole life. Like, there are so many things in my life that I am so sure about, and I'm so sure about of myself as a human being. Like, I mean, it's fucking a great time to be alive, you know? And the Iceland trip was something that really confirmed that shit for me. Yeah, man, it was great.
That's good, man. That's good. You definitely have to go with your gut and trust your intuition on things.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, even something as simple as the logo for the MindMate. Like, I saw it, and I was like... I just this feeling in my gut. I was like, this is it. I'm like, fuck, this is it. And then I got some feedback from like 3 or 4 people. And people were like, oh, you could change this, you could change this. I'm like, nah, this is what I'm doing. This is me. Just feels right, you know?
Yeah, it just feels right. It's so funny. I'm a little bit remiss to talk about it on the podcast and go too crazy, but that's how I felt with Jess, who I was talking about earlier. So, anyway, for the listeners, I met a chick and basically like I'm pretty into her. But it was like...
That's an understatement.
Yeah. But it was...
Hopefully she's listened.
Yeah. I told her about the podcast. She's going to start listening. So that's why... Yeah.
Why do you love it?
But
who do you like?
But it was a full gut instinct thing. Like, I was traveling around through the UK, obviously, and like there was a bunch of different... Like, I knew lots of girls in the UK or whatever, and I was like, I just have to meet this Jess chick. I have to catch up with this Jess chick. And... It was the strangest. Like I couldn't really explain it very well, but it was literally nothing more than like a gut feel. And then, yeah, I mean, like I was talking about before the show, like we fucking talk nearly every day, and
but that's the thing. That like
she'll probably end up being, you know, my missus, and it was like it was a thing where it was just like
she'll probably end up being my missus.
Yeah, well, I feel like that though.
Yeah, that's great.
But I just feel like. It was such a strong like pull. I'm like, fuck, this is really weird.
Yeah.
Like I need to do something about this because it's not often that I get something that I'm like, right, this is the thing that feels absolutely right in the world right now. So you have to go and do it.
This is what we feel about every show, by the way. Hey, this is why we keep doing it. I mean, it's like fucking rejection all the time. But this is the thing, right? So you go with your gut feeling. There's a reason to go with your gut feeling because your gut feeling is this feeling or like this thing you want to act on before you've had any time to think and fucking clog and inhibit these actions.
Yeah, that's right.
So you go with your gut feeling.
It's basically.
It's right. It's your present thought. You're like, shit, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then 3 seconds go, and then you go, oh, no, but this. Oh, but this,
your
no,
brain
this.
kicks
and
in.
then you fuck it.
You stupid fucking brain.
It kills you.
Yeah.
It just kills you.
100%.
So if you can go with your gut feeling, or even just like get good, this is why meditation helps, is because meditation practices and exercises focus and trains your ability to, or almost trains like that time distance in between thought and emotion. As soon as your emotion kicks into it, it's hard. It's very hard to kick out. That's why bravery is so subjective because it's something that you're personally so fearful about, and you go against that, you're the bravest dude in the world. But if you can get better at creating that space in between thought and emotion, you're going to start to see how many things in your life are dictated by your fears and by your shitty thoughts.
Irrational emotions.
Yeah, and your shitty thoughts that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
So, mate, it's great that you fucking went for your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Was there any Homal feeling there?
Was there any Hamal City?
Any
Nah,
Yes.
there wasn't. There was. Tell me more.
Yeah.
No. I'm not gonna. I remember we had the Lily.
Watch this space.
We had the Lily conversation after Thailand,
yeah.
and then obviously
that went donuts.
petered out.
That's went nowhere.
Yeah, hashtag Lily, hashtag Lily. How are you?
Bonus that mother dude now.
But that was
Can we
just
say
like
that about the chick that we don't know?
But that was just like I never said like that was just an amazing fling kind of experience, whatever.
I probably said if you roll back the archives, you probably said some more shit. I'm in love with it.
But
I'm gonna marry.
But no, I'm definitely
My son's gonna be
I
called
did
Lily.
not say that, mate. I did not say that at all.
Marry.
Did not say that.
Dude, I'm gonna marry this chick.
But
I don't even know it.
no. So yeah, no. I'm glad I went with my gut, but I think it's very
with your butt.
powerful. Yeah, glad that I went with my Hamal.
Hummus.
Yeah,
Hummus.
thinking with the Humasi.
With the hummer.
But
Should we call it?
so yeah,
I think that was a good
it's been a
sesh.
sesh. Yeah,
It's been a sesh. How long are we going for?
52 minutes.
Yeah. So what's your takeaway?
What's
Bilbo?
my takeaway?
Yeah. Go with your butt.
Takeaway is I don't really have a takeaway. I think only takeaway between me, you, and Mac talk all the time about what we're doing at the moment and these things, and I just feel like we're all on the right path.
Yeah.
I feel like
Same, man.
it's all gonna work out, man. I feel like we're making good, positive lives for ourselves. Sounds a bit wanky. Could have come up with a funny takeaway, but
Yeah.
I'm too knackered.
I'm going to just say go with your butt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Whenever you feel your butt, go with it. If you need a shit, go to the toilet.
That's a terrible.
That sucks, doesn't it?
That was good. I didn't have one, so
Yeah. Go with your butt.
All right, see you next week.
Guys, if you enjoyed the shit we had to say then, why don't you give us a little rating and review on iTunes? So that helps us climb the ranks. At the moment, we're sitting at a comfortable 489,733.
Climbing.
And climbing. We're down climbing.
And by climbing, I mean climbing down the ladder.
Falling disgustingly, which is... no, we're climbing down the ladder. Yeah, well,
climbing down safely.
Yeah, we're climbing down very safely.
But down, not up.
We're going to break our ankles. Yeah. Look, we're building. So give us a little 5-star rating. This is going nowhere. And also, too, guys, if you liked anything we mentioned specifically, all our little notes and shit are in our show notes.
Little notes and shit.
Yeah, are in the show notes. So head
Very
to
professional.
www.adventurefittravel.com and oh my God. Click on radio on one of the categories there. My God, that's embarrassing.
Shit.
Guys, Quash Creative, head to www.quashcreative.com, mention the code word radio to get a free basic SEO report or some feedback on your existing stuff. Head to audibletrial.com/ADVF. Radio, yes, I always forget that last one, to get 1 monthly free credit when you subscribe to Audible. And guys, as always, head to www.adventurefittravel to get all the basic info and packs on our upcoming trips, the radio, the show notes as previously mentioned, plus anything Bill wants to currently plug now.
No, you've absolutely nailed it. You've absolutely nailed it, my friend.
Hey! Is that merch offer still going?
Mate, it's a general offer. You always say use radio for 10% off any and all merch. It's for everything.
Yeah, but it's merch as well.
Yeah, it is merch as well. But
Yeah.
people always
So
say
I'm saying
10% off. Oh, merch.
Yeah, but
I'm like, no, fucking trips as well.
Well, I'm going to say merch cunt.
Yeah, you do get 10% off merch. That merch deal's still running.
Yeah.
And so's the deal for trips.
Trips.
Book one of those.
All right. Speak to you next week. Bye.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.